Welcome to my channel. Today I'll be sharing with you how to make this wonderful hexagonal cardigan. It's a pattern that can be made in 2 to 3 days. You can make it for yourself or as a gift for a loved one. Thanks in advance everyone. If you're ready, we can get started. Yes, before I start making it, I'll give you the material information. I used a size 6, 3.5mm crochet hook. I used 5 daisy batik yarns. The yarn weighs 100 grams, and one yarn is 360 meters long. We can start making it right away. We'll start with a magic circle. I'll just make one round. I'll insert my hook here, grab my stitch, and chain 3. Sorry, let's do it again. I made one round. 1, 2, and 3. We'll count these 3 chains as one double crochet. Just so you know, I'm adding 2 more double crochets. Just to clarify, I've added my second double crochet and now I've added my third. Now 2 chains. I've wrapped around my head again. I'm slipping into my magic ring. I'm making 3 more double crochets. I'm going to pull my yarn a little bit like this. Yes, I now have 2 groups. 2 chains again. I've wrapped around my head. I'm slipping into my magic ring. I'm making 3 double crochets. Now, I'm going to make a total of 6 of these. Let's not forget the 2 chains between the double crochets, or rather, between the groups. We're making our 4th, 2 chains, and our 5th group. Two chains again, and our 6th group. We're pulling the yarn from here into our magic ring. Pull it slowly and carefully so it doesn't break. There are 3 chains I started with. I'm pulling 1 chain. I'm slipping into the top of this 3 chain loop. I'm slipping my stitch and passing it through my next stitch, creating a slip stitch. Now chain 1, 2, 3. Look right now, I have groups and gaps in between. After I chain 3, I slip into the first space right below it. Again, counting my 3 chains as one double crochet, I work 2 more double crochets into that space. And I have a total of 3 double crochets. Now I've chained 1. I've wrapped it around the beginning. Look, I've come to the space on the other side. I slip into the space and work 3 double crochets there. Two chains. I've wrapped my stitch. I'm working 3 more double crochets in the same spot again. I've created my first corner stitch. I have 2 chains between the corner stitches. Well, I have 1 chain between the corner stitches. What I mean is this. I've now done the corner stitch. I have 2 chains in between. I slip into a chain as I move to the next corner stitch. I fill my stitch and slip into the space. Now I'm placing my 3 double crochets here. What do I do to create a new corner group? I chain 2. I've wrapped my stitch. I'm working 3 double crochets in the same spot again. One chain. I've wrapped my stitch. I'm slipping into the space. 3 double crochets. Two chains. I'm placing another 3 double crochets in the same spot. As you can see, we'll be working corner stitches during this time. We'll have worked a total of 6 of these corner stitches. I have 2 chains between the corner stitches. I have 1 chain as I pass through the corner stitches. Now let's continue until the end of our row. Yes, as you can see, I've worked 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 corner stitches. Now I'm chaining 1. I've wrapped my head. We started with a half corner stitch here. I'm slipping into the same spot where I worked my first corner stitch. I'm placing 3 double crochets there. I'm making a chain. I'm slipping my stitch from the top of the 3 chain stitch I started with and slipping it through the next stitch to close my row. Now, if we always start from the same corner stitch at this stage, we'll only do this in this row. By the way, if we always start from the same corner stitch, our stitch will have 6 sides. There might be a slip now. So, we're going to knit this in 2 pieces. Slipping can occur while stitching. So, look at it right now. I'm slipping onto the top of my first stitch. I'm slipping off the stitch on the side like this and slipping. This is my first slip. I'm trying to get to the space right now. Then, I come to the space and slip again, so I'm getting rid of the corner stitches. Now I've chained 1, 2, 3. I've wrapped around my head. As I said, I've left the corner stitch. I've slipped off here. I've moved on to the intermediate stitch. Now, I'm placing 2 more double crochets at this intermediate stitch, counting 3 chains as 1 double crochet. I've chained 1. I've wrapped around my stitch. I'm working the corner stitch again at my corner stitch. You always work the corner stitches at every corner stitch. So, 3 double crochets, chain 2. 3 double crochets again at the same spot. Now I've made my first corner stitch. I'm chaining 1. Look, there's a gap between the 2 corner stitches on my second row. I'm slipping right into that spot. I'm placing my 3 double crochets. I've chained 1. I've wrapped a loop. I'm working my corner. 3 double crochets. Chain 2. I'm working my 3 double crochets again in the same spot. I've wrapped a chain loop. I'm working my 3 double crochets again in my gap. One chain. I'm working my corner work in my corner spot. 3 double crochets. Chain 2. I'm working my 3 double crochets again in the same spot. If anyone thinks I'm moving too fast in these steps, you can slow the video down and continue, or let me put it this way, sorry, this is already a classic pattern called Hank Delendi Bay Like Thee. You can also speed up the video. You can continue that way. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I couldn't get my sentences together. Now, let's continue like I showed you until the end of our row and move on to our 4th row. Yes, I'm working my last corner work at the end of my row. I've chained 2. I'm working my 3 double crochets again in the same spot. I've wrapped a chain. I slip stitch from the top of the 3 chains I started with and make a slip stitch. I've completed rows 1, 2, 3. Now, look at the first space below it, I'm slipping. I slip my stitch, 1 single crochet, the second and third chains. I've wrapped around my head. I'm working 2 more double crochets in the same spot. Just like I started here, let me show you how I started here when I started the rows. In fact, if you do the following rows like this, your knitting will be neater. Now, I slipped a stitch. I slip my stitch into the top of the 3 chains. I've slipped. Look, I slipped into the first space below it. I slipped a stitch. I'm working a single crochet here, counting it as one chain. I'll slip my second and third chains over it. I've finished a total of 3 chains. I've wrapped around my head. I continue by placing 2 double crochets in the same spot. I've chained 1. I'm working 3 double crochets in the intermediate space opposite me. I've chained 1. I'm working my corner work. 3 double crochets. Chain 2. 3 double crochets again in the same spot. 1 chain. Look at my first intermediate stitch right away. I've sunk 2 and 3. 1 chain. My other intermediate stitch. 1, 2, 3, 1 chain. I've reached my corner stitch. 1, 2, 3 double crochets. 2 intermediate chains. I'm working my 3 double crochets again in the same spot. 1 chain. Yes, as you can see, we've now met 1 intermediate stitch in this row. So I've done my intermediate stitches on it. The corner stitches are already showing. You'll be working your corner stitches. I only have 2 chains between the corner stitches. I have 1 chain between each group. These squares will increase by 1 stitch in each row. Look, there are 2 stitches here. There are 3 stitches here. The next row will progress in a 4 to 5 pattern. Now, you'll knit this until you reach the desired length, taking your wrist and waist measurements. We'll knit 2 of this piece. Just so you know, I'll finish my first piece quickly now, and I'll tell you how many stitches I have in this row. Now let's continue working. As you can see, we've prepared our knitting in 2 pieces. Now I'll share the edge length with you right away. One edge will be the same length as the other 6 edges. Don't get confused. I usually wear a size large, so I left it this length. Let's count it right away. We'll take one edge of our cardigan. Excluding those corner points, we'll count the section all the way to the other corner, that is, those single crochet groups. Yes. When we count those single crochet groups, we have a total of 28 of these groups. You can leave it at 28 if you wish, or you can lengthen or shorten it if you want to work larger. Now we'll move on to the sewing phase. We'll start with the sleeves first. You'll leave a certain amount of neck space. If you're removing that corner point, at the joining point. Let's move on to the joining right now. I'm not counting the corner point. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to start joining right in the middle of the 5th and 6th stitches of the 5th stitch. The back one will definitely be the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let this be even again like this. Make sure you don't miss it, or it will be crooked. I'm going to start joining right between these 5 and 6 boxes. I'm going to slip stitches in the front and back of this last stitch of my 5th group. I'm going to pick up 2 stitches each. I'm going to pass my yarn through it. I'm going to pass it through. I'm going to turn one turn and secure it with a chain, and I'm going to slip stitches through all the top stitches until I reach the end of the armhole, and I'm going to slip stitches under, making a single crochet. Look, I'm going to slip stitches in all the top stitches in this order. Sorry. Be careful. Don't miss the groups. As I said, your knitting will be crooked by picking up the double stitches on all the top crochets like that. My God, my camera was really shaky. As you can see, I'm continuing my process. This part is very simple, actually. I'm working with single crochets through all the stitch tops. I won't show you the whole thing, so you don't get bored. Look, we're at the neckline right now. We'll get to the end of our sleeve. We'll finish it right there. Yes, I've reached the end of the sleeve. Look, we have corner work right there. I'm just inserting it there. At the back, I'm slipping off my stitches and making another single crochet. A chain stitch. Then I'll break my yarn. I'll clean these up nicely later. As you can see, we've made a very clean join. Now I've completed my left sleeve. We'll do the same for the right sleeve. Then, as I showed, this time, starting from here, or from the top, let me show you like this. Yes. Starting from the ends, we'll join them upwards, or from the top down, working our way down the corners, and our cardigan is complete. Yes, our cardigan is finished. I hope I explained it clearly. As you can see, it's a pretty simple cardigan. Thanks for all the hard work. Good luck to everyone who's making it.